Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
So I understand Sinetta's strategy, but I believe he's killing two birds with one stone. But I also feel like Sinetta, if he did try to help him, this wasn't the game plan. And I think in the back of his, if he did try to help him, in the back of his mind, he knew Pharaoh's ego wasn't going to allow him to not lie. You see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if Sinetta did try to look out for him, I'm pretty sure Sinetta was like, yo, when you come back, you can't be on that, F black people, and you can't be on that that crazy stuff that you be talking. If you want to get the people back on your side, you just got to get straight back to the knowledge. None of all that other conspiracy stuff you talking. Just get straight back to the knowledge and blame everything on the white man. Say the white man shut you down. If Sinetta, I'm not saying that's what Sinetta said to him. I'm saying if Sinetta said anything to him, it would have been that to help him. And I think if he did say something to him, in the back of side mind, he knew Pharaoh's ego wasn't going to allow him to not make these claims. You gotta know. Even if Sinetta did warn him before he got on here, yo, don't come on here with that bullshit. He had to know that Pharaoh's ego wasn't going to allow that to happen. It seemed like that's where it was going in the beginning, and then he veered off. You can see Sinetta's face when he starts to veer off. I'm the one who found this, and I did that, and I'm the number one attorney. You can see when he said, I'm the number one black attorney alive, Sinetta, like, his eyes widen, like, oh, shit. His eyes widen, like, oh, shit, I got him. But I think Sinetta is killing two birds with one stone. But anyway, as promised, young Pharaoh has ran back to the HOK. He was telling everybody he's not going on no more black platforms, especially Sinetta's, all last year and the year before, some of this year. No, we in 2024. But all the last 2 years, he's been telling us he's not going on no more black platforms. He's not fucking with black people. And he's going with the Asians and the white folks. None of that panned out. So my prediction came true. He army crawled his ass back to the black community.
And Bubba come crawling out the back door. Both legs missing. Lula made baby boy. He looked up at me. He said, "Hey, I can't feel my legs." I said, "Bubba, they ain't there." And I looked down, and them little bloody nubs was kicking real fast like this here. And I said, "Bubba, it's 30 miles to the nearest town. Unless you can flip upside down and walk on your hand, you ain't gonna make it."
Came army crawling back to Lula May, baby boy, crawling back to the black community. But let's get into it. Let's finish listening to what he got to say. I know y'all like Remy. Shut up and get to the video.
21 to 26 characters. So, but we know it's at minimum 25,000 species of maybe in spiders alone. So we got over 15 to 20,000 species of spiders. Every single animal that's in that A to Z category, we should, if it's a damn ant, how many different species of ants are there? So I said to say this. It's called cryptozoology, which is hidden zoology, and that is what it is. And when we come across something that is unknown to us, by definition, it is called an alien. But in reality,
it don't make sense about. Hold on, let me finish.
It could have been here for 5,000 years. We just now running into it. So I say that to say, the community did something to me originally that I would like for it to learn from its mistakes from.
What?
Whoa. Let's go back a little bit. Because he said at the animals A to Z, you know, it may be an ant, but the ant may have different types of species. So how doesn't that not count? How does it count for animals and insects and everything else, every other living organism on the planet, but it doesn't count for us?
Message.
Meaning other races. That's just a different species of human, right? Kind of. That's just a different version, right? A different species, basically a different version, right? I ain't no fucking scientist, but I'm pretty sure that's like the same. So how does that not count for humans, but it counts for everything else? That's what I don't get with his theory. And then he said the black community did something to him.
Allegedly.
That he wants the black community to learn from.
1 2 1 2 1 2 5. Hop in the hot mess for the one time.
The black community, I repeat, he said the black community did something to him that he wants the black community to learn from.
Wait a minute.
The black community did nothing but support you. And you know what's crazy? You don't even give credit to the people who are still supporting you.
Message.
But in reality, it could have been here for 5,000 years. We just now running into it. So I say that to say the community did something to me originally that I would like for it to learn from its mistakes from, and just at this point realize you cannot rule out what it is you are afraid to know or research. You can't just dismiss it as not as untrue. And if you are not into astrobiology, which is how biology is or how genetics is created in
So you're saying that the black community dismisses stuff as untrue, the stuff that you say. We're not dismissing stuff that's untrue. We're dismissing stuff that you can't prove. Outlandish shit that you're saying that makes no sense and you have no proof of. That's what we're dismissing. That's the only thing we're dismissing.
If you are not into astrobiology, which is how biology is or how genetics is created in outer space, then this is not something that would be privy to you. If you're not into genetics, this is not something that would be privy to you. So that is okay. But what I would like to see
you see, this is the problem, my nigga. You're not into it. Just because you've read an article or, you know, saw a video doesn't mean that that's something you study or you're into. Have you been in a lab? Have you seen DNA under a telescope? Have you mixed chemicals? Have you looked through a microscope? Have you seen DNA through a microscope? Have you looked through the stars through a telescope? Have you done any of these things?
black people do is take science more seriously.
Man, there you go with that bullshit.
Because the more serious you take, like my favorite subject has always been
J Boog, what's up?
So I've always been kind of nerdy, but I'm happy with that. But the point I'm trying to make is the more serious the community takes science, the more serious or the faster we will understand that we are not the only species on this planet. And
Who said black people don't take, you know, the best, some of the best, the best scientists in the fucking world right now is black. What are you talking about?
This boy's a motherfucking dummy.
You know that boy full of shit.
You never heard of Neil deGrasse Tyson? What are you talking about? Chem. The root word comes from chemet in chemistry.
Message!
We invented the shit. What are you talking about? We just don't believe in your science. he's conflating the two. Like he's actual science and theory science, basically. You know, made up shit that he comes up with on the fly. Just because we don't believe what you're saying doesn't necessarily mean that the black community, it seems like he does that when the black community, and Golden Booty and Camille both described this. They said he always thinks he's right, and if you don't agree with him, he makes you think you're stupid for either knowing he's wrong or not agreeing with him. And that's what he does when the black community doesn't agree with something or don't believe something he says. The black community, y'all ain't hip to this, or y'all don't like science, and you don't, nigga, I've never seen you with a microscope, a chemical valve, nothing. You showed us a screenshot of some fucking glass vases that you were going to order for a lab and never did, my nigga.
And not only are we not the only species, the faster we will realize, and I'm getting ready to get into this in a minute, I'm gonna pause here. We are the only organic species on the planet.
What did he say?
So this is why I stress.
Okay, yeah, we went over this part. He said we are the only organic species. That's impossible, because the definition of organic is anything that derives from matter. That's what it was. That's what it was, wasn't it? Hold on. What's the definition of organic? No, even better. What's the definition of an organic species? Anything related to or derived from living organisms. We are not the only species. Right, J Book. We are not the only organic species on this planet, my nigga. I think he meant something else, and he doesn't understand. He's confusing the two. I think he wanted to say we're the only, like, organic meaning natural. You know what I mean? Like how there's processed foods and then there's natural foods. I think he mean it in that way, but he doesn't understand he didn't understand the definition of an organic species. But I think he means like food, like organic, and then you got processed. So he's trying to say we're organic and everybody else is processed. I think that's what he's trying to say. Tripsy's always trying to tell me don't try to make sense of the senseless, but I think that's what he meant. I hope that's what he meant, but either way, it doesn't make sense. What'd you say?
In this particular instance, I'm gonna go with the other one. He dropped out in middle school.
I knew that was coming. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Plants, animals. What are you talking about, bro?
Esotericism as importantly as well, because this is why in certain religious texts it says God created us as people or one, because that's not true. And this is why the evolution theory was created, because it's meant to blind you from the fact that we are the only species on the planet that organically formed with all organic life. Every other species on the planet is a hybrid species that was either genetically engineered or seeded here by some form of extraterrestrial. And I'm gonna end this here.
What does it? That makes no sense. You said everybody is a hybrid. A hybrid comes from a living being in organic matter. Being let's just start with the hybrid part. That even if they were hybrid, that would make them organic too, because they come from a living species. It says of relating to or derived from living organisms. So if they come from us, that means they're derived from a living organism. Wouldn't that be the case? Wouldn't they be organic too? And even if your theory about aliens coming down and tampering with them, and they still come from a living organism.
Even the word Yakub, right?
Anybody can sound smart to a dummy.
And I know you Wapians going, like I said, I know y'all gonna watch this and y'all gonna have something to say. And no disrespect, if I gotta chop Lil York up again, I will. With that being said, Yakub, it is not a big head scientist. Yakub is a Hebrew word which simply means supplanter.
Yo, you see what I see?
What?
Hold on. Tell me that's not what he looked like right now. Tell me that's not what he looked like. I'm making waffles. Can't come out here with
And so it
wang
is
out.
a Masonic form of text. Just like in Freemasonry, they have a lodge called the Lodge of the Patmos. I'm very well versed in Freemasonry. And they say people was genetically engineered on the island of Patmos. All that is a metaphorical story saying that there was a race of people that were genetically engineered and hybridized on the planet.
You are very delusional.
And so
and let's get this straight, my man. So what you gonna try to say that what are you gonna say next? Because it seems like that's what this story he's gonna run with. If he does, he's gonna say Billy Carson took that from him. What you gonna claim Billy took your information, even though Billy been doing this for 20-some years? That what you gonna go with next? Because this is Billy Carson 101. Isn't this Billy Carson 101? Hidden forbidden knowledge 101?
Said it's supernatural.
The Anunnaki came down and genetically modified us. Isn't that what Billy Carson teaches? He's been teaching for the last 10, 20 years.
Faster we realize these things, the faster we can actually have true knowledge itself and come back to our.
Somebody, Ebony Knowledge, said, what plants and animals aren't organic? Crying emoji, laughing emoji. A wheel within a wheel. Blood in, blood out. Somebody says, source up. Some tell Unc that Darwin.
You know that's not a phrase. Source up or shut up.
Family, that don't apply to reality. What happened back? Lord, LOL. Peace, I don't think Sai gonna get that contract he's seeking for. What'd you say?
You read it. You just read it.
Oh, the contract part?
Yeah.
I was ready to ask you that too when I got done reading. What contract you think thinking about, the contract between them two, or
you're trying to be facetious, man?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Go
ahead. Powerful, brother. All right. We hear in ancient science sacred texts about the Anunnaki,
yes, sir.
The Nephilims, and all of the netters and gods. Are the Anunnaki and gods, the Kemetic gods, as well as the gods of the Bible, real?
Yes. And yes. Okay. So you use the word Nephilim, right?
Oh,
Nephilim, the giants, the sons of Seth.
See, it's supernatural.
You have to realize is that the Bible is a Freemasonic book used for people to covertly communicate with each other about ancient stories. Now, whether these stories were true or not, that's debatable. And
I don't understand why people do that with the Freemason. You say you teach Egyptology, but then be like, oh, the Freemasons and Freemason. Did you know that whole system came from Egyptology? You know that, right?
Because he's sitting up there listening to the Illuminati channel.
Yeah, that's what I don't get though. Like one nigga's on one hand, he'll brag and hold Egypt up, and then be like, oh, it's a Masonic this and Masonic, and then talk about masonry and that stuff as it bad, like it didn't come from the thing that he claims he teaches.
Yo, bro, say it with me. He dropped out in middle school.
That's the thing.
Stay where I'm at right now. Let me give you an example. The Nephilim, right? Seth in the Bible is actually Seth, which is the Egyptian deity that some of us may know as Set. Jermungerdor, right, is one of the children of Seth. But Seth,
what's Set though, nigga? That's how you know that you didn't go deep into the Egyptology or none of that, because you will realize that there were two sets. What set are you talking about, bro? The good one or the bad one?
In Norse or Nordic mythology, translates into Loki. Yes, I'm talking about Loki that be with Thor and Odin and all of that.
Oh,
and so I said to say this.
Hey,
Jormungandor, the giant water snake, the giant divine serpent who watches the planet. Okay. It's considered a Nephilim. How many Nephilims were there? They say it was 33. We coming back to the 33 vertebrae, the chakras, etc. Kundalini energy.
When did they ever say there were 33 giants? They said the whole world was filled with giants. I'm pretty sure the world hold more than 33 giants. And number two, come on, bro. Now you in the 33 chakra system and all that other shit, bro. Come on, man. This ain't GG33. Stop. Come on, bro. You stealing people rhetoric. You ain't never talk about the 33rd. The only 33rd we ever heard come out your mouth was them aligning your 33rd vertebrae.
Emotional damage.
You don't know nothing about 33. And GG33 proved that you know nothing about 33. Now you're trying to regurgitate his shit?
The spine. And so I said to say this. Some of these entities were metaphorical, but yes, some of these entities actually existed. They're still our giants right now. I actually was about to do a lecture on giants before I got hit. That's why I was like, damn, the government. That's why I was like, whoop.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Now, this is a lie right here. Remember, he came up with 3 different lectures he was about to do when he was going to get hit. One was the spiritual spider. One was spirit science, and now it was giants. Which one were you going to do before you allegedly drugged yourself? Well, not allegedly, before you drugged yourself. Which one were you about to do, my nigga? Because it can't be all 3. 1 minute you be like, I was ready to do the spiritual. I had this joint called the spiritual spider web that I had lined up. And then they drugged me. And then the next minute I had something called spirit science I was going to do before they drugged me. And now you're saying you were going to do something on giants before they drugged you. Which one is it, nigga?
Long story short, there are actually giants still here today. There's a giant in Afghanistan. I can't remember his name. It has red hair. It killed like 8 Marines. They had to
now, when you say giants, define.
Where? When?
Wait. He mixing up 2 different stories.
Yeah, I was ready to type that in.
The giants in the tunnels over there in the Middle East, and then the red-haired giants that they found in the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
because they just resurfaced that article a couple of days ago.
So he's blending in 2 different stories.
Flip-flopping this shit. You ever seen a motherfucker flip-flop on you and shit like this in your face? Go crazy, be flipping and shit.
That for me.
Okay, yes, sir. Giants meaning abnormally high in height, weight, and value according to the average human, which should be Shaq to Yao Ming size, 6 foot to 7 foot.
Oh God, come on, that's not a giant. That's just a tall person. A giant is 8 to 9 feet. Like the tallest dude that ever lived. You ever see the big white dude with the cane? He was 8 foot something. That's a giant. That video that you saw, that big, you ever see that Asian video where the army's walking down there and they got this big 15-foot motherfucker walking down there in a diaper? He looked like the bull from Hey You Guys. He was just walking down there with it's a black and white video. That's a giant. Shaq? Yeah, no, Yao Ming is a fucking giant. 7'7" to 7'5". That's no, because fucking the bull that played in the movie My Giant. He used to play for the Bullets. Big Russian dude. I think he was Russian, German or Russian. He was 7'7". His number was 77 too. That's just tall people. Giants are 8 feet and up.
Them tall people like that, that's a genetic abnormality.
That's what I'm saying. Them people don't even live that. I can't even say the other boy is a giant because he ain't live. Giants actually, their body structure are meant to be that way. So they don't die. They can walk right. You don't hear about none of the giants back in the Nephilim having deficiencies, walking with a cane, got a peg leg, dying at the age of fucking 19. You don't hear
Right,
them.
they was running around wrecking shit. The redhead giants in the Grand Canyon was supposed to be cannibals, running around popping everybody on the head, eating bitch.
I don't think too many giants would have been eating people, running around chasing them on canes. Get back here! With pins and shit.
And they was supposed to be swift and vicious.
Say giant, we talking about anybody that's 8 to 9 feet in acceleration to their height.
How?
Shaq and Yao Ming is not 8 to 9 feet. You just
hold on, wait. You mean 8 to 9 feet in acceleration of their own height? That don't even make no.
Yeah, I agree. What the fuck is it? Now that I think about it, I was too focused on him saying like Shaq and Yao Ming, and then turn around and say 8 to 9 feet. Neither one of those men are 8 to 9 feet.
That whole sentence don't make no sense.
You should have heard what he said. He said about the fighter. He said, "I won't say I beat the dude. I won't say I beat Godfrey, but if I take the lie detector test, I bet you it won't say I lost." What?
I bet you it won't say you won either.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said it is gonna say you won because you really believe that shit.
If you want to go with semantics,
right?
There are actually giants still here today. There's a giant in Afghanistan. I can't
remember. Is looking
red hair and killed like
decidedly.
Now, when you say giants, define that for me.
Okay, yes, sir. Giants
take your ass back to the doctor's brain.
Abnormally high in height, weight, and value according to the average human, which should be Shaq to Yao Ming size, 6 foot to 7 foot. So when I say giant, we talking about anybody that's 8 to 9 feet in acceleration.
See, he just said somebody that's taller than the average person. I think that's what he said. Hold on, let me make sure I got that right.
Giants, define that for me.
Okay, yes, sir. Giants meaning abnormally high in height, weight, and value according to the average human, which should be Shaq to Yao Ming size.
That's what he said. Giants who are bigger than the normal weight and size than the average human, which should be Shaq to Yao Ming size. And then turned around, it was like 6, 7 feet, and then turned around and said 8, 9 feet accelerated growth or some shit like that. Listen,
6 foot to 7 foot. So when I say giant, we talking about anybody that's 8 to 9 feet in acceleration to their height.
What the hell are you talking about, bro? None of that made any type of sense.
Bruh. Say it with me.
He dropped out
in middle
school.
Now, yes, there are giants right now in the caves in Afghanistan. Now, the military ain't gonna probably want to tell you that, but I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that for sure.
Oh yeah, he also said he can get, if you got a sergeant, if you're in the military and you got a sergeant that's getting on your nerves, call him because he can get him fired.
Well, you don't get fired in the military. You get court-martialed and shit.
Exactly.
You better be careful, little buddy.